Hey everyone, I wanted to take a second and come to you and talk with you about the speakership race that's going on. In just a few minutes we'll be headed back into the House to reconvene and to continue to work through what this first and very important task of electing a speaker who will lead the House into the next term. And let me first of all apologize for my voice, but my voice is a little weary because frankly for the last several days I've been up till way past midnight many nights talking, working with other members of Congress to come to a solution and find a way forward in all this. Let me give you a little prologue to how we got where we are. And basically some months ago, I'd say in the summer, we began to look at what was going to be happening and the very likelihood with everything that was going on that Republicans would be taking the House majority and that we would need to chart a path forward. Now, in times past, and even before I got to Congress, as a citizen, I would look at Congress and realize that, you know, when the extreme left was in charge, we would be running toward a fiscal cliff in our nation. And oftentimes, sadly, when Republicans were in charge, we would be jogging toward that same fiscal cliff. And it's important that we turn a corner in this nation to really put us on a right path and begin to restore the promise for the Americans people. So I start with that. I came to Congress with the understanding that Congress was broken and that needed to be fixed. And I'm committed to working toward that. And so some months ago, we began to look at the different rules and processes and things that could happen that really changed the structure of how this place works. We're supposed to be a representative government, and too often over time the processes where we're able to truly represent the people have so eroded to where much of the processes are top down, and in a sense you have in some ways really just the illusion of a representative government. And I'm trying to fix that, and I'm trying to have, since the moment I've got here, been working to fix that. And so we've been pushing on that, and in the summer we began to present rules and to come up with ideas, and they were strictly proposals to the conference. These are the things that are broken, and we should do something to fix them. If we're going to be here, we should make this place work better for the American people. Literally in some of those meetings, we'd have people get up and say, you know, I've been here a couple decades and this place works just fine. And I'm thinking most of the American people don't think this place works fine. We have like a 15% approval rating. And so we may disagree on what those things should be, but we should definitely be working together to fix those systemic issues that are happening in Congress. Early on, we were told when we began to bring this up in the summer that, you know, it's too early to have that conversation. Elections are going on, and, you know, we need to save that for after we're elected. And then election time came and went. We were trying to solve these issues some months ago. And then so we got together after the election. I flew up here the morning after the election, and we began to work again afresh and anew, and to continue the work with other members of Congress from all flavors of the Republican Party to figure out how to fix the brokenness of Washington. You know, to get to a place where we can actually offer amendments on bills that are coming down, or we can have some input on the front end of a process and have time to read bills instead of getting a bill handed to us from the top down hours before a vote, having a big, huge omnibus bill and not being able to have any input into what's going on in that bill. Those are the kind of things that have failed Americans time and time and time again under both houses, Republicans or Democrats. And so we're committed to fixing that. I didn't come here to fill a position, to sit in a seat. I want to fix the brokenness of this place and make it work better for the American people. And so we made a lot of progress on that over the time, and it was difficult at times. At first, change is hard, certainly in Washington, and people were even shocked that we were having a conversation on changing rules. But we got past that, and we worked through it, and we made a lot of progress. Not as far as I would like, but a lot of substantive progress on the three things that I was looking for. We needed process changes, we needed a commitment to good policy that was going to put us on the right path, and we needed to have the people who we could be confident would enforce all those things, the new processes that we're going to put in place and the policies that were going to put us right on the right track for the American people again. And so we got really close, and I would say up to 10 days ago, we were at a very good spot with bringing people to the table, coming together and charting a path forward where we could have the right environment to have those honest discussions, to get back to a deliberative body here where we can debate the honest issues, understanding we're not always going to get a win, but we're going to at least be able to debate the issues and move forward and have a constructive process up here that works for the American people. Now, we were at a great place, again, 10 days ago, and I was very upfront from the beginning. This can't be about personalities. This has to be about who we are going to be as a Congress, as a membership body. Yes, the speakership would be involved in that, but that was really a secondary concern to me in the sake that we needed to have a leader we could have the confidence and trust in would enforce all those things that we were working together. And frankly, we had met with Kevin and others, Leader McCarthy and others, and made a lot of progress on a lot of those fronts. A couple weeks ago, maybe 10 days ago-ish, all the progress turned into an only Kevin movement, so to speak, where I had before said this can't be about a speakership, it can't be a never Kevin thing. It turned into an only Kevin thing, like these rules are only good if Kevin is the guy, which brought a lot of suspicion in a number of people as to whether there was any genuine good faith effort into what we had worked so hard for many months and many weeks to produce. And so that brought us to a point of irreconcilability, I guess, on January 3rd. I have not given up hope that we can fix what needs to be done. We are still working on those issues. I've been working in between every vote series, talking to other members, figuring out how to have a way forward. But that's where we stand right now as we're going into these things. We're trying to work to a point where we can have a point of agreement and have the confidence to know that we're going to have the policies in place to fix what's broken. Now, some people have said, hey, and a lot of messaging's been out there, well, they've given you everything you asked for. And a lot of it comes down, first of all, it wasn't quite everything, but it was great. A lot of progress, not making light of what it was. But a lot of it comes down to the trust you need to have to know that it's going to be enforced. We've seen in times past where promises have been made by a potential speaker, and on January 3rd, the beginning of those being broken before. And so we need to have assurances and have the enforcement mechanisms built in to whatever agreement to make sure that we're going to be true to our word and have the confidence of the entire conference to uphold and to sustain that. It is so important that we be able to go forth with that sort of confidence, because you can talk about all the rules you want, but what the common practice up here is usually every January 3rd we vote on a speaker and we pass a rules package, and then every week we waive the rules that we passed. And that's been the standard practice up here for years. We can't continue to do that all the time. We need to have rules that we're committed to operating under. And when it comes to the processes and good policy that needs to be made, we need to have commitments that we're gonna actually push on those agendas and begin to push back on a lot of the evil, socialist, leftist things that have worked their way into it. And so I'm confident we'll get there. Some people have said this is chaos, and I know it's not fun to watch, but the truth is this is how a republic works. This is all how the constitutional process works. It's an uncommon, not unprecedented, and we had worked and hoped to resolve this before now. Unfortunately, we almost got there, didn't quite get there, still holding out hope that we can get there, but we'll keep working to do what we can to make sure that we are able to move forward, both in fixing how this place works. I cannot explain how important that is, that we fix how this place works for the American people. Thank you so much. God bless you. We'll keep working on it. Keep us in your prayers.